Hello and welcome to the Find My Sparkle podcast. My name is Michelle and I'm your host today. And today we're going to be talking about the steps you need to take in order to manifest your desires. Well, we're going to talk about one of the steps, not all of them. Don't have time for all of that. So there's actually many steps, but there's only so much I can cover in one podcast. So please subscribe if you can, so you can find out the rest of the steps in future episodes. So today I'm going to talk to you about your desire statement. Now, your desire statement's about defining what you want and getting into a little bit of detail. You need to be clear about what you want in order to manifest it, right? Because it's just like this. If you say to the universe, hey universe, I want a boyfriend, and the universe goes, okay, and they send you a boyfriend, but he's an asshole. Like, no, that's not on. So you've got to get a little bit detailed. So, do you want a new car? If so, what type of car? Is there a specific color you want? Do you want to buy a home? Whereabouts? What part of the city? What type of home? Is it going to be a 2-story, a single story? Is it going to be an acreage? If you're looking for the perfect partner, is this person, do you prefer them to be tall or short? Do you want someone who's kind? Do you want someone who's got a great sense of humor, who loves animals, blah, 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 blah. Or you may even just want something as simple as some cash to pay off your debts, okay? So get yourself a pen and paper and let's get started. So the first thing we've got to think about, well, not even think about, I'm just going to tell you, the desire statement needs to be written in the present tense. So the first thing you need to do first is decide what you want. Maybe write a list of your essentials and your desirables for this particular thing. So, for example, if you want a boyfriend, let's just start with a list that says, right, I want him to be employed, I want him to be kind, I want him to have a great sense of humor, he's got to like dogs or cats or whatever your preference is. He's got to want children in the future because you want to have children in the future. The real essentials should go into that essential column. Now, there might be some desirables. So, I want him to be small build or a large build, tall, short. I would prefer he someone who plays sport or has interests outside of the relationship, that sort of thing. So really think about all of those things. Maybe write some notes so you don't forget. As I mentioned before, you could write about the details of a car if you want a car. If you want some money to pay your debts, like how much do you want? Is it $10? Is it $100? Is it $1,000? Is it $5,000? So get a little bit clear on what you want there. So get a notebook and pen, and we're going to write the actual desire statement. Now, one really important thing about this statement is that it always gets written in the present tense. So you're going to write about it as if you've fast forward into the future, you've time traveled, it's a year in the future, and you already have that thing that you wanted today, okay? So you're going to write the details of what's happened and what your life is like now that you have that thing, all right? Now, it's really, really important that you use positive wording as well. So, for example, if your desire is to have to manifest some money to pay your bills, you're not going to write, I don't have any bills anymore, okay? So you're focusing on that stuff that you didn't want, which is the bills. So how you would word that instead is that you could write, I'm so happy and grateful now that I've manifested enough money to give me the freedom I need to, pay my way through life and go on holidays and money left over for savings and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go, for example purposes, we'll go with the boyfriend thing, right? Because I used to be that person who wanted one. I've now married one, but anyway. Okay, so pick a date in the future. Imagine you've got that loving relationship that you've always desired. How will you feel when you've achieved that desire? So think about that as well as you write. So when you're writing your desire statement, you can write, I'm so happy and grateful I've met my Mr. Right. This is what he's like. This is what he does. This is how he treats me. This is how I feel when I am with him. This is how I feel when I think about him. This is how I feel in general now that I've met this wonderful person that's now in my life. Okay? So you remember, write it as though it's already happened. You can go into a bit more detail. What is it like waking up next to this wonderful man that you've, now been spending a year with or however long? And, what are all of his essential qualities that, you listed in your notes to start with? So you say, hey, yeah, he has this, he does that, he plays sport, he loves dogs. We're getting a dog together. We're talking about the future and having kids together and so on and so forth. Okay. So I'm going to keep banging on about this, but when you're writing, really, really feel aware of the feelings that come up as you write. Now, what a lot of people will find when they're doing this exercise is that they'll bring up some feelings that aren't so positive. They don't feel so good. A lot of the time that's caused by it's been referred to as split energy, in that you want that thing, but you also doubt you can have it. So you have this doubt coming up at the same time as the desire. So it's a bit of a funny one. So if you do find that happening, you might want to generalize your desire statement a little. So instead of going right into that detail, maybe write it a little more vague. And I would suggest that once you start feeling better about the detail, that you rewrite that desire statement to include it. But for now, you may need to be a little more vague and just say, look, I've met a great guy. He treats me really well. I'm really happy. This has been a long time coming and I'm so relieved and grateful that I have this person in my life, or something along those lines. Okay. But if you're ever unsure about what to write in these things, just look for the Find My Sparkle Facebook group and I will answer your questions if you have any. So once you've done that, read back through that statement. How does it feel to read that? Pretend you're reading about yourself. How does it feel? Pretend it's true. What feelings are coming up? Really, really take note of those feelings because you're going to need to use them in future visualizations that I'll talk you through in future podcasts. But those positive feelings are just so important. You have no idea. They just give your desires so much power. Without them, it's almost impossible to manifest. So you really, really get into those feelings, all right? So if you can do that, your life is just going to get so much better, especially with those yummy feelings. So I do suggest too, you read back over that desire statement on a regular basis, especially if you're feeling a little bit down. Dig it out, have a read. What you might want to do is either, type it up so you can read it on your phone, or, email it to yourself, or take a photo of your desire statement. So it's in the photos on your phone. Like we've got this amazing technology that we have access to now that allows you to keep these things with you. You can even set little reminders in your phone to, ping you every few hours. Say, hey, read your statement, just to keep you in that positive mindset. Okay. So that's basically it. But, the statement is your reminder to stay on track and never forget why you want to achieve that desire as well, because it's that why that, I guess, will help you to stick to, following the processes that actually help raise your vibration so that you can be aligned to that desire that you have, that you want to achieve. So, anywho, that's it from me. Again, if you have any questions, please visit my Facebook page at Find My Sparkle. Also, my website, findmysparkle.com, findmysparkle.com. Have a look over there, comment on my posts, have a read. I tend to be a bit sporadic with my blog posts, but I'm trying to get better. Just doing some updates at the moment. So yeah, go in and take a look, and look forward to sharing more with you in the very near future. Have a great day.